Now, your mama might have called them calico beans, cowboy beans, western beans. She might have just called it baked beans, but now they got some ground beef in them and bacon, and boy, is it good. So we're going to get started. All right, it's got a ½ pound of ground beef. It's got bacon. It's got brown sugar, barbecue sauce, chili powder, ketchup, mustard, 4 cans of beans. All right, so we've got butter beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, and Great Northern. If you don't have the Great Northern, you can always use pork and beans. All right, and then a chopped up onion, and that's it. But it's going to be good. And we're going to get started. We're going to start browning our ground beef over here. And I think I'm going to turn the fan on while we're browning this. This is large enough I can put my bacon in here at the same time, and my onion. So here's our bacon, and we're going to chop it. So it's a ½ pound of ground beef, and it's a ½ pound of bacon. All right, we're going to get this in our pan. Oh, it smells so good. I'm so hungry today. And just spread that out. Chris said some of y'all's been asking about this wooden spoon, flat spoon, and it is on the website. If you want to go take a look under our, you can just go to Shop Now tab at the top and click utensils, and you'll be able to find that. All right? And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw some onion in there with it. Why not? Everything can cook at one time. And if we have a lot of grease, we're going to drain some of it, of course. So while that's cooking, I'm going to bring the rest of my ingredients over here because we're just going to mix everything up in this. That's why I chose this large skillet. So you're going to open 4 cans of beans. So start mixing this up. I'm going to turn the heat up to high because I want my bacon good and crispy and brown. Now this is a hex-clad pan. It's a Gordon Ramsay special. I got it during Prime Day. It is on the website as well. It's a large one. But, of course, you don't have to get one this big. But, boy, it was on sale, so I got it. It's the only one I got that's his. And it's super nice. What I love about it is you can go from stove to oven. And that's what we're going to do today. Mix it all up, get it in the oven. And this is going to bake a couple of hours in the oven. I'm going to scoot it over and get my bacon over the flame a little more. Because my ground beef is pretty much done. If you pile it up, you can get a lot of that grease with paper towels. But let's spread out this bacon and let it get nice and brown first. All right, I'm cleaning as I cook. Now this is getting up pretty warm. I'm going to turn it down some. You want it crunchy though, but you don't want it burnt. Crunchy, but not burnt. So I'm going to go ahead and get me a spoon and start getting out some of this bacon. The crunchy ones. The ones that's done, good and done. Some of them are doner than others. But that's how it goes. Then we're going to drain it and start adding our ingredients. Get this in the oven. All right, there's our bacon. I'm going to turn it down on low. And we're going to get some of this grease out of here. Now, if you wanted to, you could save it. But I'm not going to save this grease because it's got hamburger and bacon grease in it. So I like to save a little bit of bacon grease, but not hamburger grease. Not interested in that at all. All right, we're going to leave a little bit in there and make it good. Now we're going to start adding our ingredients. We'll start with the beans, and it'll quit smoking for y'all. 4 cans. These are Great Northerns. Butter beans are my favorite. You can use whatever you like. Kidney beans. Pinto beans. And you use juice and all, y'all. 1/3 cup of brown sugar. You're going to use 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce, your favorite. Mine's Sonny's. Chris has a really good barbecue sauce as well, but his is a little spicier than I like. But you can always leave out the cayenne and it wouldn't be. And then you're going to use 1/4 cup. You're going to use 1/4 cup of ketchup. 1/4 cup. All right, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. 1 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to make it 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And a teaspoon of salt. And last but not least, a tablespoon of yellow mustard. There you have it. Mustard's my favorite. We are making Old Settlers beans today. We're going to mix these up. Do a good job mixing, I would imagine. You can tell if you mixed it good if all your beans are just all over the place. You got them all mixed up good. It's nice to use different colors of beans because it makes it pretty. Make sure you get it good mixed up. Lots of times around the edges you can see it's lighter in color. You want to get that ketchup, mustard, and everything in there. Now, it did call for a can of pork and beans, and I think it makes a little bit of a difference because I didn't use them. So I'm going to add a squirt extra of ketchup because all pork and beans are beans and tomato sauce. And just dab more. We'll say 1/8 cup of each, okay? Now, you don't have to do that if you have some pork and beans, and I'll give you the recipe with pork and beans, and that way it should be about the same now. All right, I'm going to sprinkle this bacon on top of this, and then we're going to slide it in the oven. I got the oven on 350. This is going to cook for 2 hours, so a lot of this juice will probably come out of these. Okay, I'm going to get this in the oven. It's a nice pan of beans, ain't it? All right, we'll see y'all in a couple of hours. We'll dig in. All right, we're getting out our beans. They smell so good, and I'm actually hungry. And boy, they look pretty and glazed over the top. Yummy. Chris said he had some beans kind of like this the other night at the, what was it? It was a final party for their fishing club. And he said that this reminded him, did it have ground beef in it? Mm-hmm. And it had bacon. Yes. And it was mixed beans. Okay, there's so many different names for this, y'all. There's Western beans, there's cowboy beans, there's calico beans. This one's called Old Settlers beans, and they're very similar to each other. So I'm not sure what you called it or what your mama called it. You can let us know, but it's the same concept, all right? And they're a little bit fancier than just my regular baked beans. I do baked beans on the stovetop, fast. If you want to know how I make my regular baked beans, you can take a look at that. Mine do have bell pepper in them, and this doesn't. And mine don't have, of course, the meats in it. But you can take a look at that. And we're going to dig into this and give it a try. So I'm digging in here just to let you see how pretty it is underneath there. Boy, it looks good, don't it? So let's get us out a dish. Okay, now you can see when it was in the oven, it kind of got a glazed over look. So any of the onions that were left on the top, the bacon and stuff, it's going to have a really good flavor. And I did leave the bacon on the top just because I didn't want it to get down in all that liquid and get rubbery. That looks good, don't it? We're going to give it a try. All right, so this should eat like a meal because it's got the ground beef in there, it's got the bacon in there, the beans in there. You talk about a high protein dinner, this is it. Butter beans are my favorite. And of course, if you don't like one of these types of beans, you can always substitute it with something that you like. Well, that's good. Really good. So you can make you a pound of cornbread and eat this, and boy, it would be a meal. It was just delicious, y'all. I've already ate one of the beans off here. I'm letting it cool off just a little bit. That is good. Oh my gosh, that's good. That glazy part on the top, make sure you get some of that. The bigger the pan, the more of that you're going to get. I want Chris to try it because he had these the other night at his party. Come home and told me how good they were. So if you made that at the party, Chris loved it. I'm not sure if it's about the same, but I bet it is really close.
You can't go wrong with glazed over onions and bacon.
I know.
Set up.
Is that similar?
Yeah. This has got a little more meat in it. I think putting it in that big pan was a good idea because you do have even more of that good. The flavor is just great.
I know, it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing.
Barbecue beans. Some people call them barbecue beans, don't they?
Yeah.
I think.
But now these have got ground beef in them, so it's a great way to make a dinner if you're wanting something different. Absolutely, it's delicious. So if you're looking for a recipe that's different and you want something different to make with your ground beef, grab that bacon out of the freezer. If you got some froze, I freeze it because I buy it when it's on sale, and make you some of this. Old Settlers beans is what mine's called. So if you make this recipe at home, tell us what your mama called them. All right? Put it down in the comments, and that way we'll know which name was the most popular. Now, Chris has just informed me he's eating this for supper, so we'll be getting in here and making some good old cornbread. Go with it. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we thank you for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Get in that kitchen and make you some Old Settlers beans. See you next time. Bye. Love ya.